that I was showing my true colors and mean-spirited. She then said if I really loved her, I would have given her a second chance and said all that stuff I said about loving her years ago was all fake then, because now that she is single and not as good looking, it shows I was shallow and only loved her for her looks. She really ripped on me. I decided to message her friend back and told her, well, what do I get that's so special? She said, what do you mean? And I said she cheated on me, left me, basically abandoned me and never thought about me and had kids with another man that you helped approve, and hooked her up with and told her I was no good years ago. Her friend didn't bother answering and just sent me the
Yeah,
talk
because
with
a
a hand
friend
emoji
is
and said,
single.
you know what, this convo is over, you loser, it's 2021, women deserve better, bye bye. She couldn't
Women
answer when I
deserve
told
to
her you hooked
be
her up with that
better.
husband who cheated on her. Her friends are toxic. I do still feel bad for her, she was naive and indecisive, and it's sad when girls can't think on their own like my ex. They have controlling women who do stuff like this as friends. I shut her up with a comment about her hooking her up and approving her ex-husband who ended up cheating and telling her I was no good years ago. This friend is a piece of crud, no remorse. She can't feel guilt or refuses to feel guilty or bad for her advising my ex not to be with me, but then hooking her up with a piece of crud who married her and then cheated and left her hanging. So instead, she attacks me, calls me less of a man. I haven't seen this girl in 15 years, so what the F? It's my fault. Talk about trying to deflect or take away any blame from herself. Edit, block the friend too. She manages to circumvent the blockade, leave her on read. The crazy thing is I don't reply to my ex. Oh yeah, I forgot the part when her friend told me, how dare you? This will be the first New Year's Eve she spent by herself. I mean, what the F kinda entitlement mentality is that? No, there is a pandemic, and they stopped all mass gatherings. Trying to put a guilt trip on me or something. I hope some people are reading this and learn from my mistakes here and learn from my story. It's extreme, but always avoid females with controlling, manipulative, nosy friends like this. She pretty much is the same friend
Guys,
who
if you
told her
have
I was no good and she
just
deserves
5
better.
brain cells,
Then
you
is the
can do
same
all
friend
of
who hooked her
this.
up with a husband who ends up cheating on her and leaving. I feel she attacked me on purpose to report back to my ex that she told me off to save face for being the advisor who told her to dump me and then hooked her up with a guy she was so sure was better than me. She is trying to find a way to avoid any responsibility for her advice and being wrong. I think she got jealous because she saw several girls know inviting me over for the holidays, and I ignored her message and invitation but responded to their invites and just said, I'll see what's up, but text me back on my phone. I noticed these women never change, toxicity even up to adulthood. She likely cried to her girlfriend, and then she attacked me as if she wanted me to be the bad guy, because this girlfriend is the same one who told her I was no good,
And I
and then
wonder why
years
they're
later
all
hooked her up
single.
with the guy she married who cheated on her. So this girlfriend is trying to play the hero again to
Just a
save
thought,
face,
you know.
a true manipulator who doesn't like to
Not gonna
feel
say the
guilt.
obvious.
I wonder if she is a sociopath or psychopath? Wait, this crazy friend hooked up with your ex's husband. Were they still married when this happened? Was this after? She is still friends with someone who cheated with her husband? No, her crazy friend hooked her up, meaning she is the one who hooked my ex-girlfriend up with her no-good ex-husband. She is also the friend who in college told me I was no good because I was good looking and weak because, as she claimed, I played football and would likely cheat on her. And what's strange is I barely even spoke to this friend, and she was always rude to me in person, yet she was saying all these things about me that were wrong. When I met my ex, she was monkey branching. I didn't know it at the time, but she would tell me her boyfriend was a crap and cold to her, made him out to be an idiot, and she had me hating him. Then when I was ready, she jumped to me, and then after that, she told all her friends and family I was being mean. She basically did what she did to her ex to me. I ran into her ex-boyfriend, and he was the nicest guy ever. He also had no clue she was saying all these things about him to other people and said it was hard to believe. I said no, and I logged into my phone and showed him an email she sent me from before, and it said he was a drunk loser who had no time for her and was a crack. He was shocked, and I was shocked too because he said that he knew of me, but she told him I was only a friend from school. I'll admit the only reason I don't block her is that she is watching me and hurting inside. She sees younger girls I know messaging me, she saw photos of my ex-girlfriends, and I know it's triggering her. I haven't replied or responded once. When I met her in person, she was no longer beautiful, the glowing young girl I knew. She kept saying how handsome I was and how she felt ugly around me and said, wow, you are so handsome. She wasn't getting the looks she used to and attention. She was like a weakened dog who was desperate for food or something. But I guess it was karma, and I was gentle with her and never yelled at her. I haven't responded to a single text or voicemail. She likely cried hard when I responded to my former coworker who is gorgeous when she told me, hey, what's up, cutie? Haven't heard from you in ages, old man. She is 27, and she calls me an old man, but she said she is moving back to California and wants to meet up with me. I think when I was responding, she read them and got jealous or hurt and did the same thing she always did, cry to her sisters or friends. I feel bad for her. She is indecisive.
You feel
I'm a
bad
good
for her
person and have
after
no
this
hatred or malice.
whole
Other
thing.
guys would have done some revenge hate segs and
After the
crushed her back.
healing.
Not me because I moved on. and only the
Hey,
painful memories remain.
Hedney,
I remember in college
Courtney.
if we disagreed on something and I was upset, she would run and cry and call her sister or friends, and they would tell her what she wanted to hear like it's not her fault. She cannot handle guilt or being wrong. Also, she struggled with her decision. I remember her telling me that her sister told her to give me an ultimatum and checklist. The crazy thing is when we were dating, she told me, while crying, that her friends said I was weak and would likely cheat on her because I, according to them, didn't like how I shook a girl's hand and because I was a pretty boy and was on the football team. So she was struggling with her decision. She was indecisive and can't make decisions on her own. Also, her friends knew she got cheated on in high school, and it hurt her, so they likely used it to manipulate her. All her friends are not good looking, she was the pretty girl, and they all have ugly boyfriends or are single. Even her ex-husband was not charismatic or good looking, and I'm not being shallow, this is just what a female friend of mine just told me, that toxic women are shallow, and if they cannot have the bigger better deal, they get jealous of their friends who have a charming or sexy man. She said these are frenemies. What's funny is they told her I was a pretty boy and will likely cheat, yet the homely husband is the one who cheated. Strange how their insecurity showed, judging me for my looks, claiming because I modeled and played football, I was going to end up cheating. She surrounded herself with yes women. These women make her feel good and always kiss her crap, and tell her she is never wrong when she does something, so she enjoys that. Also,
Got that
I remember
Yas
one of her
Queen
girlfriends told her,
mentality, you know?
you gotta sample different penis before settling down. She told
Hey,
me her friend told her this. They also started crying when my friend told them she was so in love with me and can't stop thinking about me. Her fat friend, who was one of the worst frenemies, started crying, saying, but you won't spend any more time with us. Her sister also told her to provide an ultimatum or checklist to me. Her father also was in the military and said a man should do this and that and would get mad if a guy didn't open the
dude.
door for a woman. So she started judging me, saying, why didn't I hold her hand when walking in the mall? But the man her father, family, friends approved of is the man who ended up cheating on her, while I was loyal, but they judged me, saying I was just a pretty boy who would eventually cheat. Ex showed up at my door 7 years later with a kid, demanding child support. Then my wife came out and everything went downhill fast. Hello, Reddit.
Six Adam. Dude, my hands are sweaty now. stomach. Oh, fuck. Oh yes, Prime Reese is here, baby. fond of. I can't fucking see where to go because these people's smoke is annoying.